Hey Planet Watchers, good evening. I hope everybody's doing fine. I'm going to be a bit fast tonight because I have plenty of things to say. So I'll try to convey all the messages clearly and fast. Okay, so I start from something which I think everybody will appreciate. So as you know, as you have seen, we are, as I said several times, we are a very young company. We are still a startup, although a very successful one. So all systems are not yet perfect. So for this reason, and by reviewing the performance and what happened in the last 2 months, we have decided to extend a measure that was only applied so far to Kaitero and aware sensors. You remember I mentioned that this November and December to some extent were an extended testing period because systems were not 100% stable. So we've been granting some free license time to people who are with us now, so that if you've been having problems now, you will have extra time to be a Planet Watcher once your license has expired. Now, this thing we have decided that will be applied to all sensors in the network. So all sensors in the network will have a free 2 months license extension, which will kick in, of course, once current licenses expire. So this is our way to say thank you to all the Planet Watchers, all the early bird Planet Watchers who are with us now, who have experienced some hiccups in the last 2 months, and nonetheless they've been working with us. So these 2 months you were Planet Watching for free, and this will be because you're going to have these 2 free months once your license expires. So I hope you see the message here and you appreciate this decision, which is, of course, has financial consequences for the company, but that we are happy to grant it because it's a way to thank you for your commitment. Now, some more good news. After a slight change of schedule, we have received confirmation that planets will be listed on MEXC tomorrow. MEXC is a very large exchange, a very good one, so I believe this will add significantly to PlanetWatch adoption worldwide. Fast. Okay, next piece of news. Today, as we speak, 400 purchase emails for Type 1 devices have been sent. So we are moving ahead with sales. Now, I'm going to be very, very transparent, as is always my style. And I'm going to say that I'm very sorry that some additional delays have been experienced by US-based Planet Watchers. Hopefully this is going to be sorted by next week, but the problem is related to some delays in clearing customs for some very minor component of the system. In fact, we're talking about plug adapters. So it's very trivial, but this little thing has created some additional delay for US-based people, and but everything should be clear by next week. So that's the way it is. Talking about transparency and telling the truth, once again, let me remind you to please not trust any web rumors, anything you read on the web about PlanetWatch. We are getting fairly visible, so people like to make up stories. I've heard any kind of stories in the last few days and people ask me to comment. It's not even worth commenting, right? Somebody's saying that, you name it, that we're going to ban all the sensors in a specific country because we don't like the country, that we are going to release, you name it, whatever device. We're going to onboard devices and all that. I strongly recommend you not to make any decision, in particular financial decision based on strange rumors. Only trust official information channels, because we have a roadmap, you know where we are going, we are getting there, and everything else is just background noise. Okay, one more thing related to what's happening as we speak. As you all know, we are people are currently voting on a governance decision, what we call governance vote number 1. Things are moving ahead very well. I must say I'm quite happy to see that lots of votes have been cast. Now, votes will close tomorrow, so it's a bit early to tell you about the outcome, but I'm already very happy about the amount of people who are engaging in this exercise. And unfortunately, some people have experienced challenges, some people using iOS, Apple mobile phones. And the issue, the technical issue, we had a tweet about it, is not really related to PlanetWatch. It's not an internal issue, it's something else, but nonetheless, we managed to sort it. So if your iOS app has been updated, you should please try again to vote if you didn't manage it previously. It should now work. You should now have no problems in opening the wallet and voting. Okay. Next thing, I would like to have a very quick review of what happened in 2021. I'll be still with you next week, but still we are approaching the end of the year, so it makes sense to me to summarize some key facts and figures for the year. So 2021 was a crucial day for PlanetWatch. We were set up in 2020, but in 2020 we were really just testing basic system and on the Algorand testnet most of the time. 2021 we went live and big, even bigger than expected. So what should I recall about 2021? Let's start from a few figures, from the biggest to the smallest. So 1.5 billion data streams processed by PlanetWatch. That's a huge number. 135 million of blockchain transactions on Algorand's main net. And that's pretty big if you think about it. Over 30,000 sensors connected to the network. And our token, Planets, is listed on 3 major centralized exchanges. And there will be more, of course, next year. So these 4 figures, I think, summarize to a good extent the traction and the fast progress of our project. After this, in terms of other milestones and traction elements, I think it's worth reminding you about this very strong endorsement we got from Mayor Suarez, Miami's mayor, who personally endorsed and welcomed PlanetWatch to Miami. We planned a large deployment in Miami, and that was disclosed in the Decipher event last month in Miami. And that was, I think, an important milestone in terms of getting institutional endorsement to our project. Another important point, a few weeks ago, we closed a deal with an entity, with Borderless Capital, a very forward-thinking VC, and they set up a fund, a $10 million fund dedicated to speeding up the development of PlanetWatch. And that's also quite significant, obviously, for us. And it's in the interest of the whole community. Something I'm very also proud of is that our indoor air quality monitoring activities, in particular in some hotels, have led to a scientific paper co-authored by PlanetWatch staff and academic staff, where the indoor data that we took in that hotel were deemed relevant enough to justify a scientific analysis. So that was what I call scientific validation, which to me should come before market validation. So what about 2022? The road is fairly clear. I mean, we engage with air quality monitoring. We believe we can go global and become the global reference for decentralized, high density, high resolution air quality monitoring. So now we need to scale up to deploy in relevant cities from A to Z, show that the data that we deliver are relevant and lead to actionable recommendations. In the process, we will release new devices. We'll do our best, and I think we will succeed in catering for the level of demand that we are seeing from the community. We will look into opening up new use cases and working on things such as water monitoring, but that we're not going to go that way too fast. First, we need to establish ourselves as a significant player on air quality. Then we look into other things. Okay. There is something else which is quite interesting. We are working, analyzing potential synergies with the Helium network. I shouldn't say more than this for the time being, but there are obvious synergies on paper between our projects, and I think there will be things happening in the real world, which will be very exciting for everybody soon. Now, this is less exciting, I believe, but as you know, we are PlanetWatch, we are transparent, and we do what we need to do. It will be inevitable that some sensor price increases will apply in the near future. However, as you know, we don't do things in a sneaky way. We don't do things retroactively or overnight. So here is the announcement. There will be some sensor price increases as of 1st of January 2022. But owners of licenses who bought the license in 2021, so people who already have a license or will buy it by the end of the year, when their time comes in the waiting list, will get devices at 2021 prices. I'm talking obviously about devices that we sell, because if the license applies to a device sold by somebody else, of course we have no control. But if you aim to use your Type 1 license to buy an Arduino device from us, for example, if the license was bought in 2021, you will pay the 2021 price for your Arduino. It's as simple as that. If you buy the license after 1st of January, some price increases might apply. I will disclose the price, the details of pricing next week, not just to create a suspense, but because we are still fine-tuning things and try to reduce the impact of this price increases as much as possible. So next week I'll disclose details about this. And now, this is what you've been asking for some time. Isn't that pretty? So now this is a preview of one of the new devices for 2022. This is a Type 2 device. So it's an outdoor air quality monitor, which measures PM 2.5 as well, obviously. So it's the aware element. Oh, no, sorry. Ooh, got it wrong. Might remind you of the, what was the name, right? The Type 2 devices we onboarded in the very early stages of the company, which was something like a flower pot with a solar panel. So this device is in the same spirit. It's a cute little device which features Wi-Fi connectivity and a solar panel and can measure PM 2.5. You can put it in your garden or on your balcony. The bonsai on top of it, sorry about that, it's just an artistic impression. You're not going to get a bonsai. You'll have to put your own bonsai on top of it. Right, but I believe this is one of several devices that we might release and onboard next year. And I think devices will be satisfactory to you both in terms of availability and performance. And of course, value for money. Will do our best as well. Okay, so I've been promising for some time to show you at least a sneak peek into the new sensors. This is one of them, coming soon. Questions and answers. So I do have a few questions from you, and I'm going to answer quickly but effectively, I hope. So the first question is about what insights could I provide to grant people more confidence in the project in terms of growth and sustainability. So, well, what can I say? I think I just spelled out a few interesting elements in terms of the traction that we are getting. So my short answer is we have a lot of traction. We have a lot of people knocking on our door, including institutional investors. So I believe we are on the right track. Just Google PlanetWatch and see what comes out of Google, and I think you'll see that something good is happening. Second question, is PlanetWatch a for-profit company? Yes. The short answer is yes. We are not a charity, so we are aiming to strike a balance between being a for-profit company, and if a for-profit company doesn't make any profit and loses money on long term, investors will abandon the company and the project will fall down. So we are for profit, so we need to strike a balance between being profitable, being fair, and being open to everybody. A question about the GPS issue on Type 3 sensors, which came out when we released the new app. The question is whether people can now change the address from the PW headquarters to the real address. Yes, you can, and please do it as soon as possible. Put a correct address as soon as possible. That can be done easily via the Explorer. Recently, we had a a tweet introducing a tool for order tracking. So the tool, if you query the tool and provide your the order ID, the order number of your license purchase, the tool will tell you which batch you are likely to get your device. Some people are having difficulties in using this tool, but please refer to the tweet we sent for an explanation exactly of what kind of info you can get from that page. Somebody's asking, what cities are already covered by PlanetWatch? Well, is there a global top city list? So we don't have a top city list, but I believe that if you open the PlanetWatch map, you get a pretty good idea of where we are already and also where we're going. Just for to make it short, we are already present in a significant way in a number of cities, including Riga in Latvia, Palma de Mallorca in Spain, Budapest, Munich, and and many others actually. In 2022, we are going big in Miami, as I mentioned before, in Berlin, Munich also even more, Zurich in Switzerland, Copenhagen, London, Madrid, Porto, Rome, Amsterdam, Dubai, Barcelona, Valencia. These are part of the list of cities where we have Planet Watchers as well as corporates who would like to help us deploy. So these are all cities where it's quite likely we'll have soon significant developments. Next question. Any chance you will collaborate with Yieldly and start a Planet staking pool? Now, as I suggested several times, we are doing things in a slightly different way with respect to other projects. We don't like to emphasize at all any financial angle into our project. We are not so much into standard staking pools and technology. We are about to launch early next year what we call the Stake for the Planet initiative. So you'll be offered a possibility to stake and in return help us plant trees in sustainable forests. So again, there's nothing wrong with engaging in other staking activities, but it's not something that we are considering at the moment. Okay, there are some questions about the details of the return process of Kythera cartridges, how it works, who will pay, and all that. So there will be a post. We will discuss this in more detail later on. I think you can see by now that we are fair, so you would not have any nasty surprises related to servicing of sensors. There is a question about Equino connectivity. Again, the short answer is that we provide the device with a SIM card which ensures worldwide connectivity. So it's not something you should worry about. Sensor delivery times and waiting lists. Again, I'm very, very optimistic for 2022. So I believe we'll be able to shorten waiting times. What do I wish for PlanetWatch for the year 2022? That's a difficult one, or maybe an easy one. I believe we have a huge opportunity to create a framework which blends the citizen science angle. Citizen science means engaging ordinary people in projects which have a real scientific impact in the world. And out of this, creating also a profitable business, because this is run by a company. So delivering benefits in terms of value, health protection for everybody, and education, because by engaging with PlanetWatch, I believe you learn a lot. We all learn, in fact. I learn as well from what I hear every day. And we get lots of messages from people who are happy, who are quite interested in learning that if you put too many people in a room with no ventilation, CO2 builds up, and that's not good for health. So you need to ventilate and a number of things. So I wish we just keep on this track, really. There are a number of innovative features in our pipeline. Some of them I've not disclosed. So I think that my wish really is to manage the growth of PlanetWatch, which is very, very fast, in the best possible way. So minimize and sort out technical challenges timely, keep our community as happy and engaged as possible, and just keep on this track, because the track is the right one. I think I've come maybe to the end of the list of questions. Let me see. Well, there is a question about our purple map, right? The high density, the population map, which is the basis for our tier 1, tier 2 scheme. Some people say the map is obsolete. And again, this is not the kind of thing we can update every year or every month. So as I said several times, we will look into updating that next year. Okay. So I think that's it for today. Again, let me just repeat myself one more time. I believe we are really on the right track. Nothing is perfect yet. We are compensating, the way I see it, you Planet Watchers, for what is not perfect. The free license period to me is a relevant compensation which is in line with our mission and our ethics. Anything else would not be, if you see what I mean. So I think we're moving ahead nicely. I hope we get better and better. I give you my best wishes for the holiday season. For some people this means Merry Christmas. For other people it means other ideas and other feelings. So we love everybody. Everybody's free to live their lives as they wish, as long as you don't harm other people. So enjoy, relax if you can. And I'll be back next week with more information about pricing and some other issues. But for the time being, please keep watching the planet. Bye-bye.